All right, Ryan. So first career catch on Saturday. How'd that feel?
Honestly, in the moment, it was just like any other practice, any other game. Just kind of getting in the flow of things.
First career catch.
Once I got on the bench, though, coach came up to me and said, "Is that your first catch of the season? Did you catch the ball last year?" And I said, "No, that was my first catch ever." And he gave me a hug and stuff, and it was a good moment. It kind of set in a little bit, but we practiced so much out here. It was just like any other catch.
Obviously, just kind of all the tight ends had a catch. What is it like just for the entire group to contribute? Obviously, you guys doing a lot of work in the blocking, but just as contributors through the pass.
For sure. It was really exciting for me. Obviously, again, first catch, and then seeing one tight end after the next tight end get a catch also, it just gave me this sense of pride in our room, that like, hey, we're doing the things right in the blocking game and we're getting rewarded in the pass game as well. And so it's encouraging, and it's a good feeling, and I feel like we are good enough to contribute to the team in that way. And so it was good to see that.
What's it been like just here for a few years now, and just obviously no catches to this point, but just putting in that work, grinding, the special team, the blocking, but then finally kind of get that kind of carrot, if you will, at the end of the stick.
For sure. It's rewarding in one sense, but at the same time, I've always been the guy that's just like putting my head down, grinded, just did what I was asked to do to the best of my ability. And so even going into this year, I had the expectation of I'm going to be a primarily blocking tight end special teams guy. I knew I was going to go on some routes. Wasn't sure if I was going to get the ball, but I knew I was going to be ready. So again, it wasn't necessarily a surprise that I got the ball. Not exactly what I expected. But I'm happy with it. But again, I'm very happy doing my job and just attacking my job to the best of my ability.
What's it been like, just getting the mentality, just to kind of put in that dirty work, that doesn't really necessarily show in the box score, but is obviously so very crucial to team success.
No, seriously. I think early on, coming from high school, I was a wide receiver. I caught the ball 8 times a game at least, and so it was a little bit of a shift getting here. But I've been here this is my 4th season here. Being able to just continue to work and just continue to understand the importance of blocking and just the little things, especially special teams, I've come to learn that that is super important. It's just as important as catching the ball, making the big play. And for me, I take pride in that because instead of it just being kind of put on a pedestal, and not to say that catching the ball is not important, but ultimately for me, I feel as though blocking, running down on special teams, making a tackle, making a crucial block is the most important thing someone can do. And again, it'll always kind of go unsaid, unpraised, but that's totally fine with me. And just kind of, I've kind of developed that mindset, basically just doing it so often, and just learning to appreciate what I'm capable of doing.
The last 4 or prior 4 games, you guys have been knocking on that door and just getting close. How good did it feel to finally put together a complete game and get that W for you guys' efforts?
It just felt like we finally got what we deserved, right? The last 4 games, it really felt like I had so much confidence every single game, we're going to win this game for sure. And then obviously it ended in disappointment the first 4 times. This game, again, the same certainty. And so it was just nice and satisfying to see it all the way through to the end. And I really feel like if we just continue playing the way we played this last game, and even the games prior, just kind of putting it all together, I think we can make a run this second half of the season.
Yeah, speaking of, it starts in Utah, hostile atmosphere. You've been there a couple times already. Yeah. So what are some of the things that kind of jump out about this Utah defense? Obviously, year in, year out, one of the toughest units. But definitely. Just what is this 2023 variety? What jumps out to you?
Definitely their line and their upfront guys. They're very physical, very hard hitting. Even their corners and secondary when they're in the perimeter blocking game, very physical. And so last week we did a lot of perimeter blocking and those kinds of things. And so we got to expect that they're going to come ready to hit, be ready to. So we got to come ready to be extra physical this week. They're always known for their physicality, but I think especially this year, that's their primary focus.
What are some of the things now, the last 4 games of the season that you individually kind of want to put together and make sure that you guys you personally are able to finish on a high note?
For sure. I think for me, again, even though after the catch, that was great and everything, for me, it's I got my catch. I'm good, man. What I really want to do good at and be super dialed in on is my blocking technique and being able to finish perimeter blocks and especially interior run game blocks. Because I feel like in the past I've always been able to block well, but I really want to be able to dominate the blocks. So I think that's really going to be my focus going forward, is seeing how well I can dominate the blocks in the inside.